We'll move on to our next film, Men and Chicken.
So Men and Chicken, it's fronted by Mads Mikkelsen, who, if you think of him right off the bat, it's a Bond villain.
Yeah.
It's your hard-edged person in The Hunt, which I want to say for a long time. I want to say that.
For those unfamiliar with the name, he was Le Chiffre with
the
blood in the eye in Casino Royale.
Very memorable Bond villain.
Yeah, sticks
and in this film, he plays one of a pair of socially challenged brothers. They find out that they are not actually blood brothers; they are adopted half brothers. When their father passes away, their actual brother lives in a mansion. On a Danish island. They travel to this Danish island where 3 of their other half brothers live there, and they are all just slightly mentally deranged. Just a little bit. And basically they have to, eventually, at first they get warded off by them, but they sort of wear them down and they get invited to stay. And as the time goes on, they sort of get to know them and discover where their place is in the world and their origins. And the tone in this film sort of veers from dark slapstick to sort of light humour, back to sort of
I think it's light
casual drama. Yeah,
you've got those mixed up. It's light humour and dark, light slapstick. That's the light stuff, and then the dark humour is bloomin' dark.
Yeah, it's a very, it's a very, very peculiar film from start to finish. But Mads Mikkelsen playing completely anti-typecast. I mean, considering that he's a respected dramatic actor, and we know him as a Bond villain as well. I mean, no less than that. Being cast as sort of like a furiously offbeat, like socially awkward idiot who runs off places to pleasure himself.
He's got the
in the darkness.
He's got that prosthetic nose as well.
Yeah,
it makes him look so slightly more off.
But he's got that sort of twinkle in his eye. You know, he just wants to have fun and help out. And but he's still very weird. But it's constantly so weird just watching them, because obviously when they move into this mansion, things just get weirder and weirder and weirder as the other brother sort of discovers what's going on, and it veers from the surreal to the ludicrous to the outright. You just have to go with it essentially at points. I mean, it is funny at points, and I think that the main two relationship between Mads Mikkelsen and the other brother, played by Dencik, is really, really funny to watch, because he is the straight guy and Mikkelsen is the the really awkward one who keeps running away to. And it's just fun to watch them on screen because they've got good chemistry together. And I feel like the story in the end got a lot of things to say. It sort of muses on themes of humanism and stuff like that. And it sort of it has a decent bit to say, but that sort of takes a backtrack to some of the odder things which we can't really say because it spoils itself near the end. But they do eventually find out their parentage and various other foilables in that matter. But I guess the best way you can sum up to say this film is that it does have men and it does have chicken, so it doesn't missell you in that regard. Yeah, in terms of its title.
No messing around. I like the slapstick stuff. Yeah, like I've criticised slapstick in the last few weeks, but when it works like this and it's got something else, it's fine. It's just the other films that have had slapstick haven't had anything else. This genuinely unsettled me. It made me feel very uneasy. Everything about it made me very uneasy. The setting, the characters. I mean, the finale is. I don't know if I'll ever recover. I still feel really, just talking about it and thinking about it makes me feel rather sick. Yeah. But I did enjoy it.
It felt to me like a fable at times.
Yeah.
Obviously all the farm animals and the people. Like it just because the relationship they had was sort of it's very touching. I feel like the pathos they share, it really sort of sells the film for me. They work really well together, and it is obviously. I mean, it is grotesque.
Yes.
As you say, and there's a lot going on with it, but it's got real warmth in the heart at its core.
That's Men and Chicken. It's a Danish film, and it is in cinemas now. It's Anders Thomas Jensen, who's worked with Mads Mikkelsen before, so it's not like he was sort of cast out of the blue. It's sort of like, Mads, fancy playing this? Yeah, that sounds like something that's up my street. God knows what street.
Men and Chicken.
God knows what that street is, though. Anyway, that's Men and Chicken.